I've been very interested in psychoanalysis, but I've never been interested in being analysed, so make of that what you will.
I too have not been analysed, except by Christopher and Michael. Yeah, it's, no, I don't think it's autobiographical, other than that, you know, I mean, Freud ended up being an old Jew, and I'm headed that way myself. So to that extent, yes, total autobiography. But beyond that, it's really fascinating, you know, the way that these people it was an attempt to understand the human condition, which is really what art is all about. What is it to be human? What is society? What are we? And I think an artist and a psychoanalyst do very similar things. You know, you're presented with an official version of reality, and then you say, okay, that's that. But then what's really going on? You know, what's going on underneath? What's under the surface? What's driving things? What are the hidden things? And that's what a psychoanalyst does with his patient, and that's what an artist does with his society, I think, and his culture. So to that extent, not exactly autobiographical, but a kind of parallel process.
Jennifer? The question is, what is David's hinge on the universe, and in what direction is he swaying the audience, to paraphrase the film?
Well, first of all, I think, and my feeling with the play was that it was very neutral, actually. I mean, and certainly I approached it that way, that for me, making the movie was a process of resurrection. I really wanted these people to come back to life. I wanted to hear them and smell them and feel them, and you know, and leather. I don't think, and young or leather. So
behind closed doors.
Used leather, yeah. And so, but really, it was also to resurrect the era, because it was so fascinating, and I think kind of a crucial one, because it was a time. You know, Vienna was the seat of the Austro-Hungarian Empire that had lasted 700 years. They had an 80-year-old emperor who they felt would live forever. They felt that man was evolving beautifully from animal to angel, that reason would conquer all, that everything could be, that everyone knew his place in society, and everything was controlled. You could see it by the clothes, the high collars, the high stiff collars, and the corsets and everything. And yet it was on the eve of the First World War, which blew all of that to pieces, that whole idea of European super civilization. So but I felt I wanted that to be as accurate as possible. I didn't have an agenda, and actually I didn't feel that Christopher had an agenda either, which was what was wonderful. It was to present these people as accurately as they were. That really was for me, the project. And then to see, I've gotten all kinds of reactions from people who think Freud comes off as a pompous ass, others think he comes off magnificently, and Jung is a scoundrel and a terrible person, which really only applies to Michael, not to Jung. So really, I like that, because it's a personal response to these characters and to the movie. And some people think that Sabina comes across as a sort of martyred feminist icon. That would be fine too, because you could certainly make a case for that. So I had no agenda really, other than to see them come back to life and just to feel the passion that they had for their ideas, which they were not abstractions to them. They incorporated them totally into their lives, into their sexuality, into their entire being. For me, my hinge into the universe, well, is just I really, as I think Freud did, insist on the reality of the human body. I mean, to me, that is our reality. And Freud was insisting on it at a time when people were trying to deny that, that abstract ideas were everything. And Freud was talking about, penises and vaginas and excrement and anuses and stuff that no one wanted to talk about or even acknowledge the existence of. And he was saying a lot of those things have huge repercussions in our adult life, in our society, and so on. So that's my take on things. And if you ask me, did I prefer Freud to Jung? Well, I feel more empathy for Freud's approach to the human condition. I think Jung kind of represented ultimately a flight from the human body into spirituality and really religion. I think ultimately he became a religious leader, if you can believe it. And so that's, you know, but I didn't really feel the need to demolish Jung or favor Freud or anything like that. That wasn't really part of the process, creative process.
Unfortunately, we have to stop there, but I want to thank David and everyone on the panel for the people.